Diamonds are basically pure carbon. So if you have carbon, which we do in our bodies, it's everywhere, and you have the machines for it, you can just make diamonds. You can do it pretty easy. So the cost
This is so dumb.
Okay.
of diamonds has far more to do with what companies think they can get away with charging for them rather than what it actually costs to produce.
So
So it's so
I
dumb.
don't know why he brought up. Wait, I don't know why he brought up carbon in our bodies. Like you can't extract the carbon in our bodies to make diamonds. I don't know.
Well, no,
It's such
there
a weird thing
are
to say.
there are artificial diamonds, but the
I know, but
reason,
they're not made out of like people. What is it?
right, they're made out of carbon, whatever, coal,
Like what? Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know what. I'll be honest. I don't know what artificial diamonds are made out of. I can guarantee it's not people.
He's basically trying to say that diamonds are worthless because they're so easy to make. Carbon is everywhere, and the reason they go for a lot of money is because greedy fucking businessmen can charge whatever they can get away with. But artificial diamonds are far less expensive than mined diamonds because you have to expend so much time and energy actually mining the diamonds. That's why they're more expensive.
Right.
So he
Well, and
doesn't even know
also,
what he's talking about.
no, because what he would say in response to that is that, well, there's no difference between an artificial diamond and a naturally
There is a
occurring diamond.
difference. The jeweler
I know
can tell the
there's.
difference,
I know they
obviously.
look different, right?
Yeah.
And so, but that's the thing. It's not a question of he's only looking at it from one side, saying, well, it's just whatever they, they'll just sell it for whatever they can. It's like, well, wait a minute. What does that mean? I mean, that means that there's a demand for it. And it's because a bunch of people want to spend, well, let's be real, a bunch of ladies mostly, ladies and male rappers.
Want a bunch of ladies want men to spend.
Yes, a bunch of ladies, and for some bizarre reason, rappers want to spend a shit ton of money on, rocks because women are attracted to bright, flashy things. Let's be real.
Right.
Okay. So, you know how like the little, how like the male bird will build the bird's nest and they'll put like shiny bits of foil in there to attract
Yeah,
them.
no. They know
Okay.
what's up.
That's what diamonds are. That's all that diamonds are. They're just bright colors to attract women. Um, no, so but and so basically women and I guess men also, they just view that the look and appearance and the idea, probably the psychology behind the naturally occurring diamond is worth more than the artificial one.
Yeah. Because, there's some blood diamond going on here that
Right, there you
obviously
go.
is makes it more valuable.
There you go. Now actually I don't know. I'll have to bring up a picture because I don't know, like I've never looked at like what is a natural diamond versus artificial, like what does it look like? Does it look very different?
The microscopic, I think the artificial diamond actually has less imperfections in it.
No,
There's
of course
some
it does. Yeah, because it's made by a machine,
there's
right?
some sort of process that the molecular structure is more uniform. I know that they can tell the difference. They put it under a little microscope and they're like, "Oh
Right,
yeah,
right,
this
right.
is."
I know that you can take it and look at it under a microscope.
They're
But I'm
like,
saying like if
"This
you
is
look at
fake."
it, right. But if you look at it,
Mhm.
if some person was to have say, here's a naturally occurring diamond ring, here's an artificial one, would we be able to judge it just by looking at it with our eyeballs?
No, you can't
Okay.
tell.
Right. Well, in that case, then, people are really fucking dumb for spending a bunch of money on a real one. Because then
I
it's
mean,
purely a status symbol at that point. Because you're like, well, it's real,
yeah,
even
but
though it looks literally the same.
the first thing anybody is going to ask is it a real diamond? And as
Right.
soon
Because
as you
it's
say,
you can
yes, it
just
is a
lie.
real diamond, they're going to go, you fucking liar,
Right.
liar.
But
They're
see,
going to get their little electron microscope out and
but
totally.
what is he? But that's really, what is it really asking? They're saying, oh, do you have a lot of money? Did you spend a lot of money on this?
That's the whole purpose.
I
Yes, it's
understand.
a status symbol.
I know. It's a status. Exactly.
All jewelry
Exactly.
is a status symbol, of
Well, it's a
course.
combination of status symbol and that
Hmm.
your man is willing to sacrifice energy for
Yeah,
you for something basically useless.
yeah. Supposed to spend at least 6 months of pay
Right.
on the engagement ring.
It's to say, I'm going to spend 6 months of my life to produce something for you that has
Mhm.
no actual practical value,
Mhm.
but you like and it looks pretty.
Just put it in the prenup, so you'll be
Right.
fine. We sell the ring and split it. Hey, that was 6 months of my labor.
I just think it's hilarious that like for every animal species, when they're selected by sex and not predation, they all become very bright and colorful.
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny that we humans are basically in that same boat.
Sexual selection.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mix.
Okay. Okay.
And by the way, we don't operate under like a labor theory of value, you know? The capitalism model of pricing is one where supply and demand meets, not one in which like the cost of production matches the price of sale or whatever. Like that's not how that works. So when
Literally works that way in the case of diamonds, though, obviously.
Well, no, but it's interesting that he's saying all this because this is sort of like a mask off moment. Because all the socialists now, they just say, oh, I'm not in favor of the government controlling everything. I just want co-ops. I just want everything to be co-ops. If everything's fucking co-ops, you're still going to have supply and demand. Okay. All you're doing is just sharing the profit among a lot of people at the company instead of, fewer people at the company. It's still going to completely contort to supply and demand. Every oil company in America could be a fucking co-op. That doesn't mean they can't jack the price on everyone and try to screw them over.
True. Yeah, very true. That's what the co-op would do.
Exactly. Of course they would. Because now there's more people. There's more actual people incentivized for the price to be even higher.
They'd be like $25. Let's see how much these guys can pay. I feel like there were some stimulus checks that went out, and I feel like people got money lying around.
Right.
Look, they can eat top ramen. They need to get to work. Here, let's $25 a gallon. See, that's why I was saying that they are in competition with the other things that people have to buy.
Right. But if you want to have the sort of socialist theory of labor value be the thing that determines price, that requires an artificial entity like a government come in and dictate the price of goods and services.
The price of production is factored into whatever price you're making. Obviously, if you have something that demand is so low for, it's very costly to make. I mean, that's a recipe for failure.
But what Vaush is sort of alluding to, which is incredibly stupid, and that his audience missed, is because he's saying he's conceptualizing a world where if you removed profit, i.e., the extra capital and money a corporation makes,
that the price would be lower.
That the price would be lower. Right? It's like, no, you're not. If you remove profit, all you're doing is you're just taking that money, that profit money, and you're just distributing it equally among the employees. The price of the good and service is going to be exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the profit is going. Yeah, he's saying that the boss, according to socialism, the profit that the boss makes is the theft from the employees.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but if socialists want to have their weirdo theory labor of value manifest in reality, where things only cost as much as they quote unquote cost to make, okay, then you're going to have a government come in and make a determination about how much everything costs. That's a quote unquote fair price.
Well, and the labor that goes into making it is going to have to be set somewhere.
Exactly.
I mean, the way that they would do it they just jack the price up to whatever the market would bear, and then they would just say, "Oh, the labor cost. Our costs for the labor is the rest of the difference between supplies and whatever."
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But that's what's so hilarious about all this co-op nonsense. It doesn't even solve half the problems they think it will solve.
No. Creates more problems.
Right.
Prices rise, and you say, this is just some phony bullshit by the gas companies. It's not really going up. They're just charging us more because they're a piece of shit. You're actually demonstrating a better understanding of capitalist economic theory than all of the neolibs on Twitter who are trying to explain that actually no, gas companies have your interests at heart when they when they massively inflate the cost of their product for sale.
Okay, well, I don't know what quote unquote neoliberals he's listening to. I've never heard any pro-capital market person say that gas companies have the interest of the average American.
No, obviously.
Never heard that in my life.
I mean, I can hear Stephen Michael Davis's voice in my head saying, they're out to, make money for themselves. They don't care about what you want.
I've heard them say that having an economic system based on capitalism and capital markets and supply and demand creates a better society for everyone at the end of the day. I've heard that being argued.
I agree with that.
I do too, but I've
Yeah.
never heard it. I've never heard them say, well, like, well, the individual price that Mobile Exxon charges you is for the good of society. I've never
No,
heard that argument.
no.